This is the tech tip for front caster on the X12-22. So how can we set and adjust front caster, and how can we adapt the caster depending on the track conditions for the X12? The X12-21 and 22, they have a new front suspension compared to the previous platforms, and caster is adjusted with shims under the front point of the front suspension arm. So the kit setting has a 2mm shim under the front point here and nothing in the back. Obviously you can adjust the shimming on both ends, but I usually prefer to add shims just under the front point to create an angle of the front arm. In this case, 2mm of shims gives you 3 degrees of caster. So that's a good basic setting for most conditions. What is the effect of changing the caster? More caster makes the car more aggressive, gives the car more front grip, especially coming out of turns on power. So it will make the car more aggressive, more prone to traction rolling, and it will give you more steering. If you're racing on higher grip, such as CRC black carpet, if you're racing in spec classes, or basically any class where you need to make the car less aggressive, smoother, and where you need to carry more corner speed, I recommend reducing this shim here to a smaller one, which will reduce the caster angle. So for example, you can reduce this to 1mm, which will reduce the caster to 1.5 degrees. So that's a good basic setting for black carpet, for example. Whereas on European carpet, such as ETS carpet, I recommend starting with 2mm. But this can be finely adjusted with shims to any value that you want. And this front end has no upper arm, so there's no reactive caster like on the old front end. So this makes it a lot simpler and easier to understand. The caster is adjusted in one point only, and that's your total amount of caster. And that's caster explained. It's really simple, really easy to adjust, and it's a very powerful setting on the X12, just like on any 12-scale car. So make sure that you have the correct amount and that you fine-tune it for your particular track conditions.